So this is Lydia, and she is, in her defense, not been out a lot, and she will run to the end of this thing and hang herself at times. Now you can see she's already giving to me better. So when you're using a prong collar, which she does have on a prong collar, and so it tightens when they pull. But this is the only proper use of a prong collar, is that you must have slack. You must have slack in your leash. So she puts more than a pound of pressure on this leash. You correct and then you release. So just say that with me. Correct. Let me get my camera up here. Correct and release. So the whole point of the prong collar is to not be mean to them in any way. If you're using it correctly, correct and release. Now see, you should have slack, slack. She needs to wait for me. Now, I don't have her on a heel, and I don't care that she moves up and she smells the smells and enjoys this walk, but I do mind that she pulls on me. So if you have to do it every 3 seconds. Now watch. Now see how she's settled down. So the only way the pinch collar works is if you have slack in your line. And I can talk till I'm blue in my face, and I show people this and I tell people this, and they still want to. Let me demonstrate over here on this pole. So say this is my dog. So let me tie this up here. So that's my dog, and this is my leash. This is how people do. They just hang on. They just hang on until, let me tie it right here a little better. So if this is my dog, this is my leash, and I tell them, release. No, there's no release. They're just hanging on for dear life. Well, you haven't taught your dog anything. So the whole point is, if you can understand this, let me get my leash untied here. You see, well, there she pulled on me. So if she was behaving, I could video out of this left hand and she wouldn't be pulling on me. And she's just young. She just needs to learn. So here's my point. I lead around 1,000-pound animals. I don't keep them connected to me. I pulled that pretty tight because I'm powerful enough to control a 1,000-pound animal. I keep them connected to me emotionally and mentally. There we go. Okay, see? So, that's my point. So she's gonna practice self-control. Let me put a few of these together. May do some voiceovers. So she's gonna practice self-control. Control herself. She's gonna control herself. What she wants to do is take off running and run a couple miles. And I've been on horses that wanted to do that too. But that's not what we're doing. So, what we're doing is practice, and we're having a good time. I mean, I might even give her more slack. It's not a matter of how much you give them. It's a matter of do not allow them to pull on you. And she's just a baby girl. She's 6 months old. At a couple more 6 months, she's going to be big enough to really pull on me. And I don't allow the dogs to pull on me because it's hard on my back and my shoulders. There's Tim and Legend. Oh, he's doing so good. So again, the concept is there must be slack in the leash. There must be slack in the leash, or you're not using your pinch collar correctly. So say it with me. Correct and release. Correct and release. Now, if she's not pulling, don't ever correct her for being a good girl, or a boy being good. Now just barely, did you see me close my hand? I'll do this with my reins. Just barely correcting her. So you don't You don't have to pull really hard. She actually pulls against me, and she puts more than a pound of pressure. I'm going to correct and release. And we're just teaching them. Now, not to say that it's not harder for her to say no to herself when there's activity ahead of us, or if a bunny jumped out, or if a deer jumped, you know, it is more difficult to have self-control when there's distractions. So the first part of training is get their attention. And I wouldn't even say I really had her attention, but we're working on it. So that kind of be our little video. So you can see I'm just doing just like I would if I was riding a horse. Just kind of closing my fingers on her. Hey, legend. You're a beautiful baby dog. A beautiful baby dog. Go on, take him on. I don't want them aggravating each other.
Well, if you're going to call him and talk to him, I'm not throwing him away.
All right, sorry. So she wants to interact with him. Let's see. Instead of stay with me. When I take him for a walk, she just squalls when she's at the house by herself. Now, another thing, let's look at this. Her collar could be one more rung tighter than what it is. Not to say you can't get it too tight, you can, but it should be snug enough. See, it's not too tight. It should be snug enough that this stays at the back of their neck and not under their neck. I love these nice big heavy leashes I make for people because they're like a really nice dressage rein or something. They're like horse reins, and there's nothing that feels like leather in your hand but leather. So it gives you a really nice feel, you know, just like you'd be riding your horse. So this stuff, you know, I keep 15, 20 dogs. This stuff just is automatic for me. And you need to practice. If you haven't practiced, you're not born knowing. Practice, correct, and release. Practice. Don't be mean to your dog, and don't punish your dog. There's no punishment in love. We're not punishing our dogs. We're correcting them. We're training them. We're discipling them to be wonderful dogs. So I don't know if any of y'all saw the video I did Tuesday evening. I was out at my dad's place in Kingston, and I had one girl that was off leash, totally off leash, and then I had these two puppies by myself on leash. So the whole point of this is the older dog has so much self-control. She obeys me. When I hear someone coming and it could be dangerous, she's good to come back to me. Therefore, I can trust her. But it all starts here. And I'm not saying that these dogs couldn't be further along if I had spent time doing this, which I haven't. But my wonderful husband said he would walk with me. So what you can't see, so you can't see the hill. We walk down the mountain. We're going to walk up another mountain, then back down, and then back up. And my glutes are going to be burning, and I'm going to feel like I've had a little exercise today.